Hello and welcome to the Quad Life. Well, today is September 7. So we have gone through 1 week already of Spinal Cord Injury Awareness Month. And we're still here, maybe anyway. This is recorded in advance, so maybe by the time this comes out, we might not be here, but that's a whole other issue. At any rate, today we are going to look at caregivers with spinal cord injuries. As with most aspects of spinal cord injuries, your level of injury really determines, everything. So someone that has, say, a lower thoracic injury or even sacral injury, then they have pretty well complete use of their arms and maybe even some legs, depending on level, and fairly good trunk control and can breathe on their own. So in these instances, someone does not really need any outside help, at least not regularly. That a person in this situation can take care of their own needs and can really live independent lives. And I know a few people personally that this situation describes exactly. That they have a spinal cord injury, but it's a low level and they're able to function on their own without any help. And I know one that lives in Alabama that runs a company that gets people with mobility impairment, that they do water skiing, and he's able to get in and out of the water on skis and run his own boat for clients. And I've worked with him before at a volunteer week. Takes care of himself just fine. And I have another friend that lives closer to my area, and she lives independently and has full use of her arms, just is not able to walk. Again, uses a vehicle on her own and can get in and out, lives in her own apartment, and doesn't have any need for assistance. But higher level injuries like mine, that's unfortunately not so much the case. I do know of people that have injuries around C5 that are able to live mostly independent. So someone with this level injury has fairly good arm control, but has difficulty using their fingers and fine dexterity. So they need more help with eating or preparing meals, and they have little adaptive equipment, like basically fingers or gloves that they can pop on their hands, and then they have enough arm movement that they can feed or help themselves, and then help with other things. But then you get to higher levels like mine, that obviously I'm unable to do any physical items on my own. And that in itself does not require or garner the need for caregivers, at least as far as insurance and funding is concerned. And we'll get more on that tomorrow, and some of the numbers of expenses. But the main thing for me and others of my injury level is needing to have support because of breathing. Now, as we've said the last few days, I'm unable to breathe on my own, so I use now a diaphragm pacemaker, which is just a different form of ventilator that completely helps my breathing. and for a quarter century I did a regular ventilator, and now I still need suctioning, and everything needs to be monitored and put back together quickly if or likely when there are problems. So therefore, I have a need for someone to be with me at all times. Now, I have other friends that are quadriplegics or similar abilities of mine that need care but are unable to get much, if really any, nursing care or help. I know of several that only get maybe an hour or two a day of care, and otherwise it's their relatives and usually parents or parents that do everything. And I know of adults and children alike that have this situation, and it leaves quite the burden on the parents, unfortunately. And I'm very thankful that I have very caring and loving parents that do so much for me. I know that it isn't the case for everyone of that. I've heard and have experienced another friend that ended up in a nursing home because his parents did not take care of him or really wanted to. They just wanted to see what money they could get from him or from the government because of his injuries. But I am extremely blessed that, as of right now at least, I have 2 people that help me at night for a 9-hour shift, and during the day, at least Monday through Friday, I have about 3 people, mainly 2 and shortly 3, that help to cover the daytime shift, which is 10 hours. So that means 7 nights a week I get covered, and at least 5 days a week I get covered. And so just off the top of my head, that is 9 times 7 is 63, plus 50, that's 113 hours a week of nursing care that I do get. And then in the evenings of 5 hours, and weekends during the day, then it's my parents, as well as any time that I am unable to have a caregiver. So, like recently, and such as the last few nights as of this recording, my primary night nurse got a popular illness, let's say, that's been going around. You can figure that out. I just don't want to get dinged by YouTube. And so he has been gone several nights, and that means that my mom and I stay up till about 1:30 in the morning, which is when my dad gets up after maybe 4 hours of sleep, if even, and then he takes over, and I can be turned to my side and go to bed and all that. So as of this recording, I've had maybe 5 hours of sleep last night, if even, and I've been really dragging today, but it's what we do in order to stay home. Unfortunately, some parents especially get burned out from taking care of their loved one, which I can definitely understand, because it's not easy having to do all my physical cares all day, every day, as well as taking care of household needs of regular things of cooking, cleaning, and paperwork, everything that requires being just in a house. But I'm very thankful that I have the caregivers I do. I know it's an extreme luxury, but it does allow my parents to work at least, and that I can kind of do my own thing. But for someone that has a new injury, having caregivers come in and out of the house is especially something that needs to be become accustomed to, because it can take a while of having strangers come to your house and someone you don't know giving you a bath. That can be awkward for when you're not used to it, I guess. And however, like me, thankfully, after so many years of being around people, you get to know them real well and almost feels like family. I know that, maybe 2 years ago, a quadriplegic friend passed away, and during his funeral, they had the few caregivers he had, they sat with the family as part of the extended family in his service. So that's just kind of a testament to show how caregivers do help. And if anyone watching is considering a career or is a nurse or some kind of medical person, I would highly suggest doing home care, as it can allow a family to have much more freedom and everyone to be able to get along better, shall we say. But my camera's having trouble today, and I don't know how long this video actually is then. And I will leave it at that, but that is basically what caregivers are for spinal cord injuries. So again, thank you for watching this series, and I will see you more tomorrow. Bye for now.